Hello everybody. Today we are going to be trimming our dog's feet. So as you can see, Ernie's feet have grown out quite a bit. I haven't trimmed them in a while on purpose. I'm going to be going in with my curved shear and just cutting all of the bulk off of the foot. I'm going to be keeping my shear at somewhat of an angle so that the hair that's laying on the top of the foot stays longer while my shear is close to the bottom of the foot where the paw pad is, so that line can be nice and tight. I'm going to continue to kind of debulk everything that's sticking out, and we will see how far that takes us. Here you can see me lifting his other foot up to get a little bit clearer of a view, as well as allowing him to put more of his weight on his left foot. Here is another angle of me lifting the foot and trimming the hair right on the edge of the paw pads. You want to be pretty careful when doing this and not open your shear too wide. You can clean up this area, but just be very intentional about where you're placing your shears. Then we're getting another view from the front now that the foot has had its basic debulk of all that excess hair. I'm going to be going back in again and just seeing where else we might be able to clean up. I really wanted to give an example of just taking a little bit off at a time to achieve this look. Now, after I have finished with my curved shears, I'm going to be going in with my thinning shears and begin doing more detailed work on the foot. So now that I've got the bulk of that coat off, I'm going to be going in and just making the coat lay as tight and flat as possible against the foot. So I'm really trimming very close to the foot and not leaving much hair around Ernie's foot. Now that I've finished this foot for now, I am going to move on to the other foot just so that we can see what that looks like again from that raw start to a more finished tight look. So I'm just going to be repeating the same process that I did on that first foot. I'm going to be debulking with my curved shears, pointing them at an angle so that the top of the shear is angled slightly outwards while the bottom of the shear is pretty close to the foot itself. I'm going to be just debulking all that extra hair and then going in with my thinning shears to do that more fine and detailed work. In the English Cocker breed standard, it states that feet should be proportionate in size to the legs, firm, round, and cat-like, toes arched and tight, pads thick. Whenever we're grooming our dog, we want to keep in mind the ideal of the breed standard. That way we are able to trim the different parts of our dog to match the breed standard and accentuate the good parts of our dog and hide any potential faults. So Ernie's feet are really nice in my opinion. They are very round and cat-like with very well arched toes. So for his feet, I'm going to be trimming them pretty tight, whereas a dog that doesn't have as great of feet, we might leave some hair in different spots to create a more round appearance. We might leave some more hair on the top to maybe accentuate the arch of the toes that they do have. And if our dog had some other kind of foot, we might trim the hair in a way to accentuate those different parts that we would like to highlight, while not bringing attention to the parts that we don't want to. For a pet, oftentimes we want to trim the hair just as short and close as we can, for longevity, as well as to prevent mats in their daily lives. The rear feet are trimmed in the same way. They're typically a little bit more arched and slightly easier to trim and make nice and round. So that's why I wanted to use the example of the front feet. But I hope that this video was helpful in showing the different angles of the shears, the different shears to use at what point, and how to achieve that tight cat-like foot for our dog. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more videos like this one, please let me know by liking and subscribing, and I hope to create more content like this to help increase the amount of education around grooming our English Cockers.